Yeah, if you're like really deep in the sugar burner mode, I mean, what you're trying to do with fasting is get yourself over the fat burner mode, and that switch is going to be really tough. So there's a couple tricks for that. One is probably much of what you teach, which is eat the right oils, pull out the refined carbohydrates, pull out the refined sugars, and just stabilize your blood sugar a little bit. When we're eating all day and we're eating the wrong foods, we're just going up and down with our blood sugar 10, 20 times a day. So if we can pull those foods that spike our blood sugar out and quickly spike it, like the refined flours and sugars, and we can switch to the good oils, just that alone will make fasting easier. And then the second trick I always tell people is start with like, just push your breakfast back an hour and get comfortable with that. And then do that for a week, and then push it back another hour, do that for another week. And within 3 to 4 weeks, you're going to be 15 hours effortlessly. So you don't have to, I definitely don't recommend you jump into a 3-day water fast, but you don't, in order to get that accelerated healing that I talked about, I would encourage people to take the baby steps first. My goal is I want people to create a fasting lifestyle where they are varying the times that they fast, they vary the types of foods that they eat, and I love people doing it in community. And I think that if we can look at fasting as a paradigm change, it needs to be that we need to approach our food differently, and we need to look at the windows in which we're eating and fasting and change instead of eating all day, let's look at how long we're going to fast as opposed to what are we going to eat always. And I find that's an easier rhythm for people, and they can start to get the habit of fasting much easier. Whereas if you jump into a longer fast, it's like running a marathon and you've never run a single mile. You're going to be like, I never want to do that again. You'll never want, and we want people to build this as a lifestyle.
Yeah, so I hope you agree with what I'm about to say, but I often coach people I work with and say that fasting's part of your nutrition toolbox. It's
Yes.
potentially not to be used all the time and potentially not to be used the same all the time as well.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I myself will do some intermittent eating differently on one day to the other day. Like I'll front load my day with food or backload my day with food, and then jump into a longer fast, like a 3 or a 5 day fast quarterly throughout the year. Something
Yeah.
just to help me reset like that. It is something to add to your toolbox.
Agreed.
I don't know how you put it out within your community, but I hope it's something similar.
Yeah, no, I use the toolbox analogy all the time. And I do a live Q&A on my YouTube channel every Thursday, and people say, well, what fast should I do for this? And how long should I fast for that? And my number one thing is to look at what you're trying to achieve. If you're just trying to like learn how to be a fat burner, then the tool that you need is intermittent fasting. You don't need the 3-day water fast. If you're trying to repair your gut, then you got to throw in some 24-hour fasts here and there. If you're trying to overcome, cancer, then you might need a 3-day water fast. But you learn to pull the tools out just as you learn to pull out your food tools and your exercise tools and your mindfulness tools. It's a tool that just wasn't in the toolbox for so long, and now we're actually putting it back in, which is great.